Hello everyone, Ravendawn released this week. I've been playing this MMORPG. I've become slightly addicted in the process while I've been grinding it, playing alongside my friends, leveling up, doing quests, doing some crafting. It's been a lot of fun. The unexpected success of the game comes during a time when we haven't had any major MMORPGs for a while, but there's also not much competition with a January release. Perfect for this game to step in and give us a great game to play. There are a number of reasons why this game has become so popular this week, with 500,000 unique viewers tuning in to watch on Twitch and many people logging in to play. We're going to dive into it right now, and I'm going to tell you why you should be playing Ravendawn as well. One of the first big things is it's more than just the graphics. You might look at this game and judge it on its graphics, maybe on its camera angle even, but Ravendawn is a nostalgic MMORPG that's visually inspired by the classic MMO and one of the first I ever played, which is Tibia. They've also managed to capture a lot of modern MMO systems and features, lots of things in there that you might recognise, with big inspiration from Archetype, combat that's inspired by World of Warcraft, and crafting and gathering that is largely inspired by Black Desert Online and Final Fantasy XIV. They've tried to take the best pieces and inspirations from the MMORPGs that everybody loves and incorporate them into this fantastic game. Now, Ravendawn offers an interesting archetype and class system. You choose a weapon which dictates your one weapon skill and your character's visual appearance, but then you also choose 3 active archetypes, which form one of the 56 possible classes. With each archetype, you choose skills and passives, but you then mix them with the other archetypes to create your own unique character and combat playstyle. There are no limits with this system. Even if you're using a sword and shield, you could combine it with spells from witchcraft and abilities from archery to create this unique, perfect combat style that works for you. There's long-term progression built into this class system as well. By leveling up all of your possible archetypes, you gain extra skill points and attributes to buff up your character further, and you'll be a lot stronger than players that haven't done that. And one of the future releases of the game will include legacy skills, which look fantastic, and they'll be very powerful endgame high-level skills. Raven Cards is another system which tails off from your class and build. You will earn in-game currency, which you will use to buy Raven Cards. This system is somewhat inspired by various TCGs and Pokemon cards. You open packs, collect cool looking cards, and use these cards to input them onto your skills. When doing so, your skills gain new buffs and benefits. When you gain duplicate cards, they auto break down to make a currency that you're able to use to upgrade your best cards. The community in this game so far has been a very strong point of the game. Player guilds are super active. People are chatting, communicating, grouping up, helping each other out, crafting, all that fun stuff. It's something I haven't seen much for quite a while, since the early days when I first started playing the Elder Scrolls Online, and it makes Ravendawn so much more enjoyable playing with other players. So far, I've grouped up and chatted with many people, discussed builds, done trade pack runs, worked together to take down some strong bosses. It's been absolutely brilliant. Crafting is another huge part of Ravendawn, both right now and also into the future as the game progresses. You can take part in many types of crafting and gathering, such as mining, blacksmithing, weaving, farming, fishing, and even mount breeding and more. This is done in your own piece of community land, or in a piece of land which you can buy in the open world map. You're able to claim land and build your own house and farm. In the early stages of the game, you're given gear, but from then on, the only way to obtain gear is by crafting, buying, or trading. This means that being in a guild in the early phases of the game has some people focusing on one craft and then working together to craft for each other. Not only that, but crafting is such a huge importance in the game if you want to become stronger. Crafting, gathering, fishing all have systems with little mini games, and your hard work pays off when you're able to sell or trade your items on the market for lots of silver. And even in the future, when people don't need the low level gear as much anymore, it's still going to be valuable, as you can deconstruct it to turn it into currency to buy the powerful Raven cards, or use it to upgrade existing gear to a higher, more powerful rating. The market is completely player driven and is filled with items collected and crafted by other players. It's very similar to the way that Albion Online works, and it's a great way to create a strong economy in the game. Ravendawn has not released flawlessly, to say the least, but this is still one of the best MMORPG releases that I have seen in the past 5+ years. There's been a bit of server downtime while they increase capacity, fix server problems and lag, but I cannot fault how good the developers have communicated with the players with integrity and have dealt with issues head on. They never expected Ravendawn to be this popular. Maybe they should have. But they've put second servers in place literally on day 2. They opened a second server, which also filled to capacity. They've reacted quickly to fix issues and are working tirelessly to get as many players in the game as they can. While they focus daily on these issues, the creative director works tirelessly to answer player questions and live stream during downtime to show upcoming features and updates and keep the community in the know with what's happening in the game. Player numbers are estimated to be around 250,000+, which is absolutely unreal, and they weren't expecting it to be this many. And it's no surprise when you actually play the game and see how good it is. One thing I love about this game is that the developers have a strong passion to create an amazing MMORPG. They are turning down investment and publishing offers and have done for a while from all over the place so that they can prioritize on making an amazing game that does not include over monetization or pay to win aspects, some of which would be forced by investors and publishers. The only thing you can really buy is the $8 optional subscription, where the benefits are nice but not essential. In-game cosmetics are virtually all earnable in-game by collecting the materials. Raven cards, which are in the store, can only be purchased with in-game currency that you can earn in the game. The store is absolutely bare bones, which shows that this team have focused on the game and not prioritized making money as much as they have on making a game that people want to play. So I've tapped into a lot of the things that I have found the most interesting, but you'll also find a deep story and questing system that is fully voice acted. There's also secret quests and NPC dialogues, hidden areas to discover, and there's also deep in caves and areas you'll find hidden items and rewards, which is really, really cool as well. There are many zones, enemies, caves, bosses, along with a pretty good combat system that I've enjoyed. You'll often need a group to tackle some bosses, and there are many endgame enemies and areas that we haven't even had a chance to tackle yet. There's a deep progression and breeding system with mounts. There's also other transport methods, such as wagons, which need to be upgraded for trade pack transporting more efficiently. You've also got ships, which need to be developed for sailing, ocean fishing, and sea combat, so that you don't get killed by sharks and various enemies in the sea. There's an interesting trade pack system, which you make trade packs by putting items together, and then you have to deliver them across the map to gain extra silver. But you'll have to defend the cargo from enemies and other players. The dynamic world is great with areas and little villages and farms in the game that are player built. There's also dynamic events which can pop up at any time. This is an MMORPG that is fully playable. It has many hours of content and things to do, and it actually feels like a finished product with a vast populated map. We haven't seen this for a while with a lot of big MMOs. They release, they're in early access, they're released unfinished. This one feels like a finished product. It has a large appeal to all kinds of MMORPG players. There's already plans in place to grow the game in new areas, dungeons, enemies, spells, more PvP and guild combat, and lots more. The developers seem like a team that are worth backing as a player due to their communication, integrity, and game-first mentality. And you should definitely give Ravendawn a try this weekend. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you can get yourself in there and enjoy Ravendawn. If you want to get 3 days free Patreon, which is the premium subscription, you can use my code TC_Lee13. Thank you to all of our patrons, YouTube members and supporters. Very much appreciate your support. Thank you very much for that. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.